Today I'm going to be taking a look at the Manba One, a rather interesting pro-style controller that's compatible with the Nintendo Switch, PC, iOS, and Android. Now what makes this controller so interesting is that it has a fully interactive display built right into the gamepad, allowing for a wide variety of customization options. A concept that on paper actually sounds really good, but how well is it executed here? And is this feature even really that useful? Let's find out. Inside the box, you have the Manba One itself. It comes with a really neat charging platform, so you can always know where your controller's at when not in use. Comes with a USB Type-C cable for charging, and 2 additional longer length joysticks. The face of the gamepad actually pops right off, and allows you to swap out the joysticks as to your desired level of comfort. It has a pretty standard configuration. You have 4 face buttons, 2 Hall effect joysticks, as well as a tactile micro switch directional pad. You have your start, select, home, and screenshot buttons right over here on the bottom. Now I don't really mind the placement of these buttons, but I really don't like their size. They're really small and kind of easy to miss. On a few occasions I found myself accidentally hitting home instead of start, or accidentally hitting screenshot instead of back. And of course in the center you have the full color LED display. Over on the top you have 2 micro switch tactile shoulder bumpers, as well as 2 Hall effect triggers. You also have a USB Type-C port that can be used for either charging or connecting the controller wired. Over on its backside, you have 4 programmable paddle style buttons, these 2 levers that allow you to change the triggers from a deeper to a more shallow press, the on-off switch, and the connector pins that are used for charging when placed on the dock. While gripping it in my hands, the gamepad felt extremely comfortable. First impressions, the joysticks and shoulder buttons had a really premium feel about them. I can't really say the same about the face buttons and the D-pad though. I won't know until I'm actually playing a game, but just based off the feel, they did not have the same build quality as the analog sticks and shoulder buttons. The buttons had really deep presses to them, which, as history has often shown me, normally leads to quicker wear and tear. And the D-pad felt like one of those that just screams dropped inputs while trying to play a fighting game. The charging station is a nice addition, and it's your standard plastic feeling dock, which also doubles as a storage for the included Bluetooth receiver, in case you want to use the Manba One on a device that doesn't have built-in Bluetooth. Powering up the pad, you're treated to a light show over on the edges. The lights and patterns you have full control over as one of the menu options on the display. And speaking of the display, it's nice, glossy, and not too bright. I actually have it on the brightest setting right here, and that's actually a good thing because it's not distracting while playing. It is not a touch panel, even though it kind of looks like it, which I'm kind of happy that it's not, because there's no risk of accidentally pressing something during a heated gameplay session. From the display, you have full control over which device you wish to pair it to. You can completely remap every single button, program the back paddles, and even alter the joystick sensitivity. I've tried other gamepads in the past that allow you to do the exact same thing, but most require you to download an app or a program. With the Manba One, you have everything right here. No need to go to a third-party app or program. You have full control over your customizations right on this display. Using it on the Nintendo Switch, it felt pretty solid. I would say that it felt as good as some of the better third-party controllers that exist for the console, but it just barely misses the mark of some of the more premium gamepads that I've used for the Switch. But if I'm being completely honest, at this stage in the Nintendo Switch's life cycle, there are just so many options for third-party gamepads. It's a rather large ocean to compare it to. The gyros were also nice and responsive, and is often a feature that gets left out with a lot of third-party gamepads on the Switch. It was nice to see that this one did not do the same. Switching over to the Steam Deck, my suspicions about the D-pad were 100% correct. This thing was terrible while playing fighting games. From dropped inputs to not even being able to jump forward, this D-pad was just not good. Fortunately, switching over to using one of the analog sticks, everything felt good and fine. Playing a shooter with it felt great. The analog sticks and triggers are some of the best features on this pad. I went into the menu and changed the analog sticks to performance, and I didn't really notice a difference until I started using a more ranged weapon. Now, while playing some more fast-paced games that require some intricate timing, my suspicions regarding the buttons were valid. While holding a button down, it required a tad bit more force than what we're normally accustomed to. This resulted often in me holding down a button thinking that I'm firing the weapon, only to find that I wasn't pressing it hard enough and the weapon wasn't firing. So the Manba One, guys, I have to say, I think this controller is good. Hell, it's damn good, but it's a hair shy of being premium. And what I mean by that is, in my opinion, a premium controller is one that works good with every kind of game. And I feel like the Manba One just doesn't do that. I feel like everything with this gamepad is circumstantial. It's got really good joysticks and shoulder buttons, making it excellent for first or third person shooters. But I can't help but feel like they cheaped out when it comes to the face buttons and the D-pad, making it not a good choice for something like shoot 'em ups, fighting games, or platformers. I also feel like this might not be the best option for someone on the Nintendo Switch or the PC. But on the flip side of that, I feel using it for mobile, especially something like iOS, this might be a really good option. No need to install a third-party app to get it working the way you want. Everything you need is right here built into the controller. Full function, full features, and all of the customization you could ask for. So my final verdict regarding this thing is really what you plan on using it for. If you plan on using it for mobile, it's an excellent gamepad. But as a Switch Pro controller or using it on the PC, it's honestly kind of mediocre. If you guys are interested in the Manba One, I'll put links in the description below. Until next time, this is Ness, signing out.